What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. Give me just a moment to make sure everything is set on my end here. Of course, have to watch my own ad. I don't know why I keep making that joke. It's not even funny. How is everybody? So I'm kind of surprising you guys with a live stream tonight, and I don't expect there to be a bunch of people in here because number one, it's July 3rd, right? People are out doing stuff. People are out shooting off fireworks. And number two, normally I do this on a Saturday night. So this was unexpected, and the reason I'm not doing it tomorrow night is because we are Oh, actually, there are a few people coming in. Okay, well, welcome. Good deal. I'm glad they're actually. Honestly, I was like, I won't be surprised if there's like 10 people who show up tonight. But yeah, so tomorrow night, my wife and I are hosting a 4th of July party for both of our families. And so I will be completely and totally unavailable tomorrow night. So I thought, let's just do it on a Friday night. Why not? You know, I don't think any other channel does their live streams on a Friday night at 9. So I didn't think I was kicking into anybody else. So, okay, wow. Yeah, there are definitely more people in here tonight than I expected. Fantastic. Hello, everybody. Jeff. Welcome back, Jeff. We haven't seen Jeff in so long. So happy to see you in here, buddy. All right, so real quick, just so everybody knows, I have 6 stickers to give away, but actually only 3 people will be winning. We're going to give those stickers away at 9:45, so here in about 45 minutes. I have yet to figure out exactly how I'm going to give those away. I'm kind of going to leave that up to you guys. But essentially, 3 people will win one of each. So you'll get a mini MC Night helmet. Normally, the normal ones are a little larger. These are great for like the back of cell phones and stuff. Same with these. I actually have this. The Hollow Knight is actually on the back of my cell phone currently. These are, I never get these. Sticker Mule never, like they rarely do those. So I have a few of those to give away. But yeah, 3 people will win one of each. So I thought that'd be cool. Just because I know you guys like the live giveaway thing. People seem to like that. So yeah. Hey, Shaker's in here too. That's awesome. OCD for EDC is in here. You should check out OCD for EDC for sure. Stacy is in here. Stacy Bolstered Blades. Wonderful. And let's see here. Truth Realm. I'm supposed to be asleep. My stepdad hears me watching this. He's probably going to play... What? Oh my God. Well, I'm not going to read that out loud. Let's see here. You don't actually. I haven't figured out how I'm going to give these stickers away. I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. Whether we do some type of trivia, some type of like in the moment, you know, call it out kind of game. Last time I gave something away live, I made people guess what the knife was the moment I unveiled it. I mean, we can figure something out. We got 45 minutes, right? Let's see here. Good guess. I'm gonna do my best to not reveal. Not reveal anything that might give it away. I will tell you this: what is in that box is very interesting because it's something that I can explore for the channel. It is a new Spyderco, but not a new Spyderco model. Sent in by a viewer for a very specific purpose. That is all I'm gonna say. Anybody else that has any questions from now until about, I'll unveil it right before I give the stickers away, 9:44 or so. I'm gonna say I don't know. Al the Science Pal's in here. What's up, buddy? Oh man, Danger Pickle. Yeah, you guys can guess all you want. Mike King says, "Happy 4th. There's nothing wrong with being a good son/son-in-law." That is correct. It is not a Dolica. It is an actual Spyderco, I promise. I have a ton of stuff coming in for you guys to take a look at. Oh my goodness. So many cool things. And I put a focus. I have listened to you guys. You guys want to see. I've been looking at my analytics. I've been, figuring out what people want to see. The next month is going to be newer stuff. And it's going to be like a big focus on really good budget knives and really good high-end production knives. There's going to be a lot of U.S. stuff, a lot of new U.S. stuff, That's my focus for the next month. I promise we'll always come back to mid-techs and customs. I'm gonna pull the reins back on those a little bit, and we're gonna do some cool high-end productions. Shaker, yeah, sure, obligatory like. And while you're at it, follow me on Instagram. I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that, but that's why that card's there, because I don't plug my Instagram enough. I should. I post every day on Instagram, and I love the people that I've met on Instagram. I love the Instagram community. If you don't have Instagram, that's okay, but Instagram's a great place, especially if you're a knife nut, and you can follow me there. Is who muted? Shaker's not muted. Oh, wait, let's see. How do I feel about the Benchmade 940? I think it's probably one of the greatest EDC folding knives of all time. I think the standard aluminum and S30V variant that they want 175 for is a little outdated. The best version of it is the Dash 2 in G10. Now, if they upgraded it to 20CV and made it a continuous production variant and charged us 175 for it, I'd be on board for sure. But yeah, the overall profile and carry weight, and I mean, it's like a 7.5-inch knife with a 3.4-inch blade, and it weighs like nothing. It's especially the G10 variant's awesome. Yeah, I have a 9400 on the way. Somebody did, speak up after I did the community post and say I've got a 9400 auto, and I was like, heck yeah, man. That was an auto I didn't even know that I wanted. Definitely smart move, honestly. Let's see here. Does it have FRN handles? You're trying to whittle me down. It does not. God dang it, you guys. All right, last clue. The Spyderco in that box does not have FRN handles. That's it. I'm not giving anything else away. Okay. We Production Shamori. That's this guy right here. Let's see here. How does the CKF compare to the Hinderer? I love my XM18, and I'm interested in getting one of the CKF models. Listen, I am a gigantic Hinderer fan, but I gotta be honest. I mean, this thing, the review's coming. The reason I've had this for so long and haven't reviewed it yet is I have been very thorough. I have very thoroughly gone over this thing. Custom Knife Factory is, they're pretty close to Shirogorov in the quality department. This is a different experience in overall quality than the Hinderers. I love my Hinderers, and they are mega high quality, and if you own one, you should be happy with it, but this is above and beyond. The smoothness and the pivot specifically, but just like I would say overall fit and finish and like fitment and stuff is pretty similar to Hinderer, but the little tiny details on like specifically the inside of the pivot and the finish work on the blade, man, it is above and beyond. Yeah, absolutely. Can I stop you from from going on Blade HQ and buying a NAF? No, I can't. That goes against everything. Well, no, that sounds like a sales pitch. I literally, can't stop myself from doing that. It's one of those things where a lot of times I have talked myself. I'll tell you this, if you really want to talk yourself down from a ledge, all you have to do, ironically, is just continuously, like, don't stop on any one thing. Like a lot of times it's just finishing the night or finishing the evening, like getting through the evening and going to bed. And oftentimes you hit that reset button and you can talk yourself off that ledge. So if you really want to stop yourself from buying a knife, then yeah, you just have to keep looking at new things and then become indecisive until you fall asleep. Because if you decide around 10 p.m., you're gonna buy something. That's what happens. If you want to buy something, there are links down in the description. Anyways, let's see here. Para 3 versus PM2 GAW. The PM2 is larger and more awkward, especially considering how much handle there is. I think the cutting edge on the PM2, the difference in cutting edge between the PM2 and Para 3 is trivial. I think the Para 3 is a superior EDC knife, but that does not make the PM2 a bad knife. The PM2 is a great knife. The Para 3 is just a greater knife. I carry this one, and this guy doesn't even have a pocket clip anymore because it doesn't get carried. I use it all the time down here in the dungeon, which I'm learning is probably not the best term for this, but it's essentially just the corner room of my basement where I've got the studio. But yeah, the Para 3, other than the position of the pocket clip, is superior. The only problem with the Para 3 is that you pretty much have to get a Lynch clip or an MXG deep carry clip. Hey, Slicey Dice is in here. What's up? Slicey, I've given all the clues I'm gonna give. People are trying to whittle me down. This was sent by a viewer. It's gonna serve a very specific purpose for the channel. The only clue that I'm giving it is it's not an FRN. That's all I'm gonna say. Spirited Blades in here. What's up? Oh my gosh, this is awesome. There's so many personal friends, and not to say that anybody, any specific people are not personal friends. Of course, if you watch my channel, I consider you a friend. This is awesome. Sorry, while I was talking, I missed Spirited's. He said, used to call and write. Left me back here in the dust. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's been crazy, especially in the last day, like trying to prep. And I was talking with some guys on Instagram. I put off all the yard work until today, so it was like 8 hours of yard work, front and backyard, and weeds and cleaning off the patio, and just a ton, like filling in holes that the dogs have dug, because we want the place to be decent for family. Let's see here. I'm so glad that so many people. Seriously, guys, I thought there's only going to be 40 or 50 people in this live stream. That's honestly what I thought, because I don't normally go on Friday, and because it's July 3rd. I'm so happy that there are 122 of you in here right now. That's fantastic. By the way, something I always say once the population gets up pretty high. Anybody who's wondering about those little helmet icons next to people's names, that's actually my membership, the channel membership. Those are the Knights of the Round. If you'd like to become a Knight of the Round and get your own badge, you can do that by following the very first link in the description, which will take you to my membership page. It costs $1.99 a month. And Knights, if you'd like to show off those exclusive Excalibur emojis, essentially you get access to the badging system, which are the helmets that change color depending on how long you've been a knight. And then you gain access to a bunch of different Excalibur emojis during live chat that are basically famous swords from popular culture and video games. But yeah, if you want to, it's down there. Slicey says, 5 more if anyone can guess what MC is named on my phone. Oh my God. Yeah. Now, Slice has he nicknames everybody in his phone, so I'm not special, and he's not being mean. If anybody figures it out, or maybe it is. What do I think about S35VN? I think S35VN is one of the greatest user steals of all time if it's heat treated properly. I think 60 to 61 HRC is what most people consider it. It's considered to be really great. But yeah, S35VN is an excellent. It's my second favorite user still of all time. It's wonderful. Let's see. Slicey says getting warm. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg is warm. Emphasis. You hear the enunciation or the upward inflection. Mark Wahlberg is warm. Let's see here. Everybody's trying to guess. I'm not going to give it away, not till 9:45. And we still have to figure out how we're going to give these stickers away, guys. That's the thing. You can't win this. You guys can win the stickers. This is for me to have for a little bit and to use. I guess that's another clue. I'm gonna use it for a little bit. Let's see here. Markle complex. Let's see here. James True, be safe. Keep your eyes off the screen, but I appreciate you being in here. Definitely. Let's see. Is Zell in here? Yeah, hey, Zell's in here. What's up, Zell? Glad you made it. Literally everybody is in here tonight. I can't think of people, regulars that we're missing. That's awesome. Mr. McKenzie's in here. You want the Instagram card? And actually, you know what's funny? This actually is a sticker. Because I cut it from I wrote it on the back of a priority shipping label sticker and then just cut it out. So that actually is a sticker. I suppose you could win that. You guys want me to give that away? And I'll just make another one? I guess if you guys want that to be the one of the prizes of the evening, that's perfectly fine. Thoughts on the Spyderco native salt? Does the native salt still use the H1 steel? If they have moved to LC200N, I would be interested in it for myself. H1 is butter steel that is basically impervious to corrosion. But if they have they moved to you guys seriously want that stupid handwritten Instagram thing? Okay. It is LC200N now. Then yeah, I would be interested in it. I have never handled it. Isn't the salt very similar to the? Is it similar to the Delica? I don't know. You guys know how I feel about those FRN models. Let's see here. Speaking of well, I guess newer Spydercos. Yeah, you guys saw me pull this out. So I watched Cedric Aneta's video on the K390 Ladybug, and I was very curious about K390. I've had some experience with Maximate here lately, and that's wonderful, but I really need to be getting my hands on some of these newer super steels and actually testing them so that I am not just spouting off nonsense. I'm actually giving you guys my thoughts. So I thought, oh, great, the Ladybug, $60, that's a lot of money for a keychain knife, but it's K390 and I will definitely use it. I will definitely throw it around. It will not get babied. That thing's been on my keys for a week and has already been thrown around. I've been using it to open everything that has come to our house that is not a knife that needs to be unboxed on the channel. Excuse me, which is actually quite a bit of stuff. And man, it's just, the geometry of that blade is awesome. But so far, yeah, no nicks or rolls in the K390. Pretty cool. Yeah. The K390, seriously, this is a massive improvement over the Spyderco Bug that I had because it's a locking knife. And it's technically, I call it a 2.5 finger position knife. You can see that there's two spots for my index finger and my middle finger, but this guy back here, it gets that little spot right there. But yeah, it's like a teeny tiny little lockback PM2 kind of, or a lockback Delica, I guess. And I really like it. It's cool. Let's see here. Okay, I'll say this. No, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to. I don't know why I let you guys whittle away at me like that. No, you wait till 9:45. You bunch of greedy people. Oh, yeah, I can see there's 146 people in here and the live stream only has 34 likes. Gosh, nobody cares about my fragile ego. Care about my ego. Like the live stream or don't. Do whatever you want. That's fine. But yeah, I do love watching that little thing go up. I see we got what's up, Tyler Reynolds? What would you say the best fifth pocket knife is? What? I'm trying to think of all the different all the different pockets and potentially different. The best fifth knife, definitely a disposable one. So let's say the best fifth pocket knife. Like the fifth backup, the open L. Sorry, Slice. Oh, Slicey. So Slicey has this guy. So Slicey, somebody else asked in the live stream. They said, how do you feel about the CKF Resenti Snafu 2.0 versus the Hinder? And I said, I love my Hinders. They're wonderful knives, and their quality is excellent. But the Snafu 2.0 is on another level. It's like emphasizing specifically the action in the pivot, and I would say the overall polishing, especially in the blade. It's also an integral, right? So CKF in general versus Hinder, I think they're going to go a little bit above and beyond on some of the polishing and stuff, especially the action. Not to say that Hinder's action's bad. It's noticeably smoother. CKF, but if you're talking Resenti Snafu versus like the XM24, which are fairly similar in price, this is an integral. That's a big step up for sure. Yeah, I mean, I can understand, Slice. That's a lot of money to have wrapped up into one knife. I constantly think about that with the dark horse here. I mean, that guy has to stick around. I know a lot of people thought for sure. Women Carry Knives is in here. Hello, Women Carry Knives. Please check out Women Carry Knives if you haven't. She has a wonderful channel and she's a wonderful person. Also check out Slicey Dicey. I feel like that's like kind of a moot point. Like you guys know Slicey, but if you haven't checked out Slicey Dicey, then you definitely should. If you're subscribed to me, you should be subscribed to Slicey. Um, Anyways, what the heck was I talking about? I have no idea. Oh yeah, I constantly think about, selling the 24 like hypothetically, but I can't. You guys all thought that I was going to sell it real quick, but there's stuff coming from Hinder, and I got to hang on to that thing. Danny T, my wife gets upset when she sees the Metal Knight charge on my account because I don't. I'm so sorry. Please don't prioritize me above stuff like that if in your personal life, but I do appreciate it. Let's see here. I'm not so Tyler Reynolds. My pair of threes still does not need sharpening, and I do use this thing. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but those little shadows there are actually the patina forming. And I got my very first roll ever right about here. And I've had this thing for so long, and I mean, like, this isn't something that gets thrown around in the mud, but yeah, this thing gets carried and used all the time. And Maximate is just incredible. It is incredible. I know that at some point it will need to be sharpened, and I'll do it on a KME. But everybody tells me it's not as scary as I think it's going to be. You got a new XM18, Slicey. What did you get? I'm teetering on a new one myself, but oh boy, I just spent a bunch of money on that Evo Typhoon, which I have to wait 3 months for, so it's not really scratching an itch. What did you get? I think I'm getting the Yojimbo alongside the Yojumbo. I would really like a Yojimbo as well. I love the Yojimbo, even though the way that I use it isn't the way that it's intended to be used. But I think I would like a Yojimbo for sure. Guys, 1 second. I can hear my son might need something. I will be right back. Slicey, do some stand up. Tell some jokes. I'm putting you on the spot. Okay, I'm back. Just need to make sure everything was okay. Okay, here we go. Anyways, Slicey says I got a no choil battle bronze Fullard spear. Put my battle bronze warthog. Wait a minute. It's a no choil. Is it a 3.5? I did not know that they did that. So dude, I had my last XM18 was a Fullard spear. That's one of the most handsome blades they've ever done. I love that's a DLT one. So sorry, I'm gonna plug my description, right? But a lot of you guys know that I'm an affiliate through DLT, and I've got a specific section of my description that is Hinder knives and Hinder parts and accessories. So if you've never checked out DLT and you want to check out what Slicey's talking about, you look down the description and scroll down. There's a section that says Hinder knives, the 3.5 inch and parts and accessories, and I think the 3 inches in there as well. But you can go look at that. DLT has some of the best exclusive Hinders that are out there, and I think they probably have the widest selection of Hinder knives. But so yeah, no non-flipper. Wait a minute. So Slice, is it the 3 inch or the 3.5 inch? If they made a non-flipper Fullard spear in the 3.5 inch. Oh wait. It's a 3.5. They made a non-flipper 3.5 Fullard spear. I did not know that. God dang it, Slicey! I might have to pick up this. I might have to buy the same one. I didn't know that they made that. Well, we can't battle if I buy the same one. Boy, I'm gonna go look at that literally right after the live stream's over. That is so cool. The non-flipper 3.5s, I've said this many times, they solve a couple of issues. Number one, There's no flipper tab, so there's nothing to complain about there. You don't have to worry about the shape of the flipper tab or the landing zone. Number two, they lighten the detents up a bit, which makes it much easier to flip or kick out with your thumb or do the reverse flick or the middle finger flip. It's much easier. So those are better versions of the XM18. When they just get rid of the flipper tab, ergonomically it's better. It's better all the way around for sure. Let's see here. I don't know when the Rex 45 Manix or Para 3 will drop, but I'm interested in Rex 45. That's another steel that I'm definitely interested in taking a look at. K390 was my first, because I think K390 is supposed to have better toughness than Maximate and slightly less edge retention, and it's definitely not corrosion resistant. But with my experience with Maximate was so good, I was like, I want to try K390 and see if I notice a difference in my EDC life. They have them in DLC also, but I chose the Battle Bronze because I have the scale to match. Boy, I would be very tempted to buy my first DLC XM18. The Dark Horse is a Stonewash DLC, but it's not a full like the standard flat DLC. For whatever reason, I'm just interested in coated blades all of a sudden. But yeah, let's see here. OCD for EDC, you like Rex 45? That's good to hear. Definitely. Let's see. Do I have a favorite new 2020 Spyderco? I haven't handled any of the super new models. I'd like to handle the swayback. I have some hopes that I don't want to say anything. I have some hopes for some stuff with Spyderco that there's a foundation for. We'll see. We'll see, everybody. We'll see. Let's see here. Stonewash DLC Hinder XM18 Slippy only because it's UK legal. You know what's funny? It's one of the only hinders that I've never handled. Is the I cannot believe there's 161 people in here. You guys are awesome. I've never handled the Slippy XM. That's one of the only true hinders that I have never handled. If you look into that playlist I've got that's hinder knives, I've reviewed almost every single model that he's ever come out with. And we finally have a Tri-Way Eclipse coming to the channel. Finally. I really, really want to get my hands on that. Let's see here. Dream Strider versus Dream Hinder. I showed my Dream Strider, and it is long. It's come and gone. It was an MSC SNG, and it was about the most normal nightmare grind you've ever seen. The picture was on Monkey Edge, and I think it was from 2014. But it had contoured diamond textured scales. It had the nightmare ground drop point or spear point blade. And it literally had every single box checked for Excalibur. It even had the pocket clip in the more ideal position for Strider. That not only would that be my ideal Strider, if you can go back and you can look at it was if I had infinite money or maybe like my favorite knives of all time, or I can't remember what video it was, but it was the very last knife on the list, and I was like, there it is. That's Excalibur. It technically exists. Or it did at one point. I don't know who has that thing now. I don't know how many of them were made, but that it was there. Ideal hinderer. So a finish that you don't see on hinder knives anymore, and in very rare, there were just very few Gen 4s that came out with this, and it was a finish that you saw on the very rare Sparrow grind. For anybody who doesn't know, Rick Hinderer did do an XM18 in 3V. It was called the Sparrow. That was the grind of the blade. You can look it up if you want to. These were Gen 4s, and he did a coating called anthracite. And it is essentially a matte gray with slight reflectivity. It almost looks like vapor blasting, but gray. And it is the most beautiful look. There's no tumbling marks or anything. They have anthracite and battle anthracite, or they used to. They don't do this finish anymore. But I suppose my ideal XM18, and I don't know if this will ever exist. I want an XM18 3.5 inch. And I don't know about the steel. I guess, there's a lot of different steels I'd take it in. But I suppose 20 CV is fine. I'd want it stainless because it would be a collection piece and it probably wouldn't do much. But I'd want a fatty Spanto tri-way in anthracite, and I'd want an anthracite titanium textured scale, which doesn't exist. What I'm describing does not exist, but that's what I want. And I would bronze that MFer out. I would bronze out the pivot, I want bronze and anthracite mixed together. You guys want to look up the anthracite models, or they did some Gen 4 spear points in anthracite for production. I think maybe they did a Spanto standard thickness, and they definitely did some Sparrows, some frag. The rarest Sparrow is the Monkey Edge frag Sparrow in anthracite, I believe. I remember that. Sorry, I haven't been I've been blabbing on about Hinderers. Let's see here. What do you think of S35EN and the SE3? Is the SE3 8.25? I think that's probably a fantastic steel for a fixed blade of that size. It's a good field knife. But I can't. Inconceivable number of circumstances you might use a fixed blade for. Depending on who you are. So I don't know. I like S35EN is so well rounded. It works on a number of. I mean, like S35EN wouldn't be good for a machete, but it's a medium or medium large size fixed blade that you're going to use for a lot of different stuff. I mean, yeah, in a ton of different geometries too. It's fair. I mean, it's pretty tough as far as stainless steels go. So let's see here. MC, any suggestions for building a knife collection? Collect what you like. It depends on why you're collecting. I mean, if you're collecting to if you're looking to make investments to make money on knives over time, I don't know that it's very difficult to do with knives. I really like to collect things that speak to me aesthetically in terms of like when I think about a knife that I want to keep in my collection, it's usually a knife that I can see myself using, and then that is based on the materials for the money, how well my hand fits, the style of blade and finish that attracts me. It's all of those little teeny tiny things makes me feel good about opening that top drawer in my display case there and looking through my primary rotation and thinking, this is just, these are me. I'm happy to collect these things. I hope that answers your question, kind of. Slicey, thanks for the donation. No one guessed, but MC is Lesser Wahlberg in my phone, and I always forget, and it always makes me laugh when I see it. Yeah, we talked about this the other day. I'm just an off-brand Wahlberg. Anybody who's never seen a picture of me, that is, yeah, I look like Donnie Wahlberg. That's a lot of people say Mark Wahlberg. My favorite's when people say that I look like Chris Pratt. That's very flattering, but the truth is, Slicey's very right. If I look like any celebrity, Donnie Wahlberg is probably the closest. So thank you very much for making me say that out loud. MC, thoughts on H1? I've never experienced it. From what I understand, is its greatest quality is stain resistance. But it's, I mean, it's really easy to sharpen. If you work in salt water or around salt water, then yeah, I mean, it's great, but the thing's going to go dull super quick. So you're going to be sharpening. I mean, you could probably sharpen it on a brick. You could probably sharpen it on an old loaf of bread, honestly, but it's going to go dull cutting that bread. And that's why I think Spyderco is moving to LC200N, which is Chronometer 30 Evo. I don't know if you guys knew that. That's what LC200N is. But yeah, sorry, it makes me sound like, I don't know if you guys know. I know because I'm special. No, yeah, that's that. There's the whole. You can look up the history about Spyderco going after that steel and wanting to, acquire it and name it LC200N. I think there might be a slight change in composition. I can't remember. Somebody who knows for sure can point that out. Show us the Warlock. Yeah, this is actually owned by somebody who has lent me knives before, and that's Kyle_J_Landfear on Instagram. And he has a wonderful collection of knives, and really nice person, big contributor to the channel. And he actually allowed our entire pass around group, the Apex pass around group, to take a look at this guy. As you can see, I have mastered the Warlock, not at all. This is a very difficult knife to get figured out because the thing wants to pinch open when you push it, right? So you have to get your timing just right to, yeah, like that. You gotta close it right when the blade is fully seated. God bless America. There we go. Nope, not right. So yeah, it's pretty it's very fidgety, and yeah, I still have to practice with it. Also, I'm a little bit a little bit awkward because of the space I have between the camera and the mat here. But yeah, it is a fully dagger ground blade, very aggressive. It seems to be pretty well made. There's a couple of pieces that kind of move around a little bit. I'll talk about it in the review, but yeah, this is a knife that I will probably end up accidentally cutting myself with. Yeah, so oh man. Yeah, I find so when I say that, that is my way to keep myself from swearing, is to say that because it's a much more positive way to mask an exclamatory. Excuse me, hydration break, excuse me. What time is it? Are we getting we're at 9:36. I will reveal this Spyderco at 9:40. And then at night, we got to come up with a way to get to give these stickers away. We haven't thought about that. Danny, you want to see the snafu? Bam. Very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful knife. This is actually one of my favorite knives that I have ever handled. One of the best feeling fall shot actions I've ever fed. It's a finger guillotine for sure. Let's see. All right. So how are we going to give these stickers away? 3 people are going to win. I'll tell you what. Here's how we'll do it. Go ahead. Make your guesses. This is not a brand new model from Spyderco. It is is one that is. Oh, hang on. I just realized I got to get a pen and paper ready so I can write people down. You'll need to guess the model and the steel. I guess that's a little bit of a hint. It is a variant of a current model that is very new. So think variant. Khalifa X512 is close. Okay, I see one. Sorry, writing down. I've seen one person say it so far. I've seen 2 people say it so far. I've seen 3. Okay, 3 people got it. Okay. Tyler Thomas, Super K, and Wyatt Cook. You guys all got it right. I will have to go back through the live stream comments at exactly this timestamp, which is, what are we at? I don't even know what the heck timestamp we are. Stop guessing. 3 people already got it. Tyler Thomas, Super K, and Wyatt Cook. You guys are each going to receive a Metal Complex Knight helmet sticker and a Hollow Knight. I'll get those mailed out to you. Please email me at metalcomplex87@gmail.com with your shipping information, and I will get those sent out to you next week. All right, where are we at here? I know the live stream is just gonna drop as soon as I reveal it because there's no right. That's why most of you are still in here. 191 people. That is literally 4 times the amount of people I expected to show up tonight. Thank you guys for caring. Right? I don't even care about me. You just want to see what's in the box, right? Yeah. The reason for this is because, like I said, I'm very, very interested in checking out some of these newer steels and models that I like. And when people offer them up for review, and especially when they're like, yeah, use it. I want, like this guy was like, this is going to be a user. So you use it, and get your impressions on it. And I said, I might use it for 3 weeks or so before I review it and send it back to you. He said, okay. And he said, yes, sir, go ahead. That's great. That's an awesome opportunity for me to get some experience with a new steel so I can tell you guys the truth, at least based on my experience. 3 weeks isn't very long, and I'm not going to be doing anything crazy with it, but yeah. Let's see here. Check out my helmet complex. I'm here for you, buddy. Yeah, you are. Purple. Hey, there you go. I appreciate all the people who have joined the Knights of the Round membership program. I'm so happy. I love seeing the helmets change color. It lets me know people are hanging out and staying, and that's wonderful. All right, 940. You guys ready to see what it is? You guys already know because people guessed it and people scrolled back up. This is the Spyderco Shaman in Rex 45. I dropped a hint a little earlier in the live stream here. I love the Shaman. The Shaman's one of my favorite knives of all time. And while I'm not the biggest fan of the burnt orange scales, I'm definitely interested in Rex 45. I don't know if this is exactly the right geometry for it. Then again, I don't know what the Shaman's geometry is absolutely the best for, but yeah, I was like, oh, I get to test a new steel in the Spyderco Shaman for sure, of course. Why would I not want to do that, right? Super, super cool. I'll get my Shaman out. We'll put it up. We'll put it right next to that one. I am so ready for more Shaman sprints to come out. I'm just waiting for an ideal sprint to come out. The only bummer is that they keep doing the sprints in the satin finish. I want them to do another sprint in the tumbled finish. The tumbled finish this gets so sharp up here on the spine. These satin finish Spydercos, man. I want the tumbled variants because the hole is not so aggressive. Choice of words there. Sorry, guys. Should we read? You guys want to check out the readout on Rex 45? All right. The exact alloy composition of CPM Rex 45 is as follows: carbon 1.3%, chromium 4.05%, tungsten 6.25%. Oh, here we go. Molybdenum 5%, vanadium 3.05%, and cobalt 8%. That is a wild composition. Please note the Rex 45's low chromium content does make it susceptible to corrosion, so please maintain your knife properly. Very interesting. Very, very interesting composition. I feel like, I used to be very much afraid of non-stainless steels. My experience with M4 and Maximate, which is a lot now, it makes me much less afraid of knives like that. So yeah, I'm really pumped about this, and I will be picking up my own Spyderco Shaman because if you guys don't know, Flytanium has all but completely confirmed that they will be making titanium scales for the Shaman. So my plan is actually to wait until a sprint of the Shaman comes out that I really want. And then add Flytanium scales to it, and then I will use it. If Rex 45 ends up being something that I just absolutely adore, I may try to pick one of these up on the secondary market and add some titanium scales to it. The Shaman is very close to Excalibur in its current. I will send my scales off to have them textured as well. I will build that thing. I'm going to. I want that Shaman, that dream Shaman variant. It'll be expensive, but I definitely want it for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, everybody seems to really like Rex 45. The last steel that I heard of with Rex in it was the legendary Rex 121, boasting the highest Rockwell hardness I've ever heard of, which I think is it can achieve 70. This is not a steel that is available in anything that I know of today, but Rex 121 can achieve Rockwell hardness 72 72 highest potential edge retention of any powder form steel out there, any steel out there. But it's too hard to grind. It's chippy and it's unstable. People don't want to work with it. Same fate as S125V. Let's see here. So Rex 45 also has a high Rockwell. That sounds like Maxim at 67. Is that what they try? That's what they heat treat the ideally Rex 45 to? Because I know Spyderco's Maxim, it's about 67, 68, something like that. It is interesting. Christopher Lombardi, Rex 121 is available on the Culture Tech. Really? Holy crap! It's like reviving some ancient superpower, Like accidentally reviving some horrible. What have we done? That's what I think of Rex 121. Let's see here. What's the word on S45VN? I have an S45VN PM2 coming in. I don't know that I'll get a lot of experience with it. But I forget what the deal is with S45. Is it supposed to be even easier to sharpen than S35? And not, I mean, nearly the same edge retention, but it's got like, does it have more corrosion resistance? I can't remember what the idea with it was. Probably easier to machine, right? If you can still get good performance out of a steel, I mean, similar performance to S35EN, but it's even easier to machine, and it makes sense from a manufacturing standpoint. But again, I mean, I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about there, so I haven't experienced it. OCD for EDC, you have a Russian custom on the way in S125V. That's awesome, man. That's cool. Yeah, I think S45VN is planned for Chris Reeve knives. I think. Hey, by the way, you 172 people, thanks for not leaving after I unveiled the shaman. Only lost about 20 people there. I thought it would like minus 100 immediately. Yeah, I think S45EN is planned for Chris Reeve knives, which is a good move, I think, because while S35EN is still a fantastic steel, any community gets bored with the same thing over and over and over again, and Chris Reeve knives do not change very much over time. So it'll freshen things up a little bit, even if it's not going to be a noticeable difference for most people in terms of performance. Spartan is switching to S. You told me that, Slicey. I forgot. Yeah, you did say that. Spartan Knives, excellent knife maker. I'm sorry, and in terms of like the machining and the handwork that goes into them, very, very good knives. Excellent user knives for sure. 300 is budget now, not to my knowledge. To me, a budget knife, I think most people's definition of a budget knife is anything under 50. For me, I'm not going to say a budget knife. I'm going to say if I'm looking for a low cost knife that I can throw around and beat on and not feel too bad about, if it breaks, it's anything under 100. Yeah, no, 300 is generally not, I would say the vast majority of people would not consider anything under 300 to be a budget knife. Yeah, for Shaker, maybe. Not for me. Let's see here. Yeah. Thanks, Gregory Burke. I appreciate that. Thumbs up before you leave. If you're gonna take off, if this is all you want to see, right? Thumbs up before you leave, for sure. Let's see here. By the way, you're officially competing with the president for audience. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Floridian 214, I think you might be right. They don't have a lot of stuff in S35V, and they do some sprints every now and then. But yeah. Let's see here. Did I miss the bet results with you and Slicey? I just barely beat Slicey. What was it? If Slicey's still in here, it was like 51-49. That was the end result at midnight. I was starting to sweat. I was like, no, I'm gonna lose. There was a while where I had a comfortable lead, and then I got nickel and dimes here, and then I was like, oh no. It was a lot like watching KU play basketball against I don't know, Baylor. Man, I hate losing to Baylor. I can understand losing to Duke, Kentucky, Villanova, right? And as much as I hate losing to those teams, but I don't want to lose to Baylor. I hate watching KU get nickel and dimed in the second half. That's what it felt like. No, we can't dude, the most interesting hinderer that's available right now is the one that you have. So I guess we could rematch based on the custom build that I do, but you're gonna have to give me a little bit. All right, we totally can't. but I feel like I will lose like automatically because people are like, well, Slicey won last time, so we have to put on it. That's fair though. If I decide to go with another Hinder, even if it is the same knife, I will intentionally choose a different aesthetic, and then yeah, we can go again. That'll be fun. Slicey did have to drink a Bud Light, and for people who don't enjoy Bud Light, that was a pretty serious, and he did go through with it. He drank one whole Bud Light. Let's see here. I'm just looking for questions now. Yeah, we're at the point where you guys can ask me whatever you want. I do two different types of endings for my live streams. They're nothing special. But yeah, if you guys have questions for me that are outside, not I'll still answer not questions, but you guys can pretty much ask me whatever you want. If you ask me a question I don't want to answer, I'm just not going to answer it. But for the most part, I'll answer pretty much anything. Can anyone recommend a manual flipper under about 125 or so? Yeah, the Kershaw bare knuckle from Smoky Mountain Knife Works in 20 CV and on bearings for $100. That is 100% the right answer in my opinion. In fact, there's not even another knife that I'm going to recommend to you. The 20 CV Kershaw bare knuckle from Smoky Mountain Knife Works is probably the very best knife that you're going to find out there for sure. Is the Shaman and Rex 45 mine? No, it is not. It was sent by a viewer who plans to use it. It is brand new, and he said, "Go ahead, use it. When you're done, send it back." I could not believe that he was okay with that, but yeah. So, let's see here. Are you going to Blade Show? No, not the next one. Maybe the one after that. It's just not going to be worth it because there are so many. There's just not as many people going, and I really want my first Blade Show experience to be. I mean, of course, I want to meet a bunch of makers. I want to experience Blade Show. I want to see the knives, but I also really want to meet all the friends that I've made. Doing this YouTube thing and on Instagram, I've made so many people that I initially just considered acquaintances, but they've become really good friends, and I really want to meet these people, and I want to make sure they can all go. So yeah, Lethal Blades, thanks so much for the donation. What's the best USA made knife in your opinion? Well, everybody knows that I'm going to say the Hinder XM18. So Hinder XM18 is my official answer, but aside from the Hinder XM18, let me think about this. The very best USA made knife. I don't have to consider price at all. Boy, that is really tough because there are so many good USA made knives. There are so many good USA made knives. I'm still gonna end up being generic, you guys. In terms of the build quality, the potential for performance, ergonomics, all that stuff, and not considering price. I just think quality build and legitimately made in the United States outside of the Hinder XM18. Truthfully, part of the reason I was so excited about this, the Shaman. The Shaman is wonderful. It is such a good build, and it's why the Shaman is my foundation for my Dream Excalibur, because I just love the lines. I love the build. It checks. You guys know, I want T8. I want 2 body screws. I want a backspacer, right? I want it to be robust, but not overly cumbersome. I want it to run on phosphor bronze. I want it to have a good, strong lock. I want it to have a good, dependable opening mechanism, or catalyst, whatever you want to call that. Forward choil, right? Check. The only thing it's really missing is full titanium that's textured and external stops. That's it. So yeah, Hinder XM18, close second. Spyderco Shaman. Is the Osborne 9400 worth it? I already have the 940-2. I don't know because I don't have it yet. I like side opening automatic knives. They're brave for competing with ProTech, which is definitely who they're going to compete with for the whole USA made automatic thing in that general price range. I don't know. We'll see. It's one of those knives where I'm like, I didn't really it wasn't an initial thought that it needed to be an automatic, but when I saw that it was an automatic, I was like, oh neat. But if I love it, I will definitely wait for a different color. They came out of the gate in that standard OD green from the original, and I was like, poopy. Lethal Blades. I just got an XM18 non-flipper 3.5. Do you think it needs a flipper? Thank you very much for that second donation. No, actually, I think the non-flipper XM18s are the better variants. It solves a lot of problems. In fact, the closest thing to Excalibur in terms of the XM18, there were two of them on the channel that basically achieved that, or very nearly achieved it. Was the flipper XM18 slicer, and it had a better blade geometry, cutting geometry. The slicer is definitely the best in terms of cutting geometry. And then the other one, my non-flipper spear point, was very near it. It had a lesser blade in terms of cutting geometry, but it was a little bit of a more robust blade. But it didn't have the flipper, and not having the flipper solves so many problems. So I think the non-flippers are better. If they do another non-flipper XM18 in the slicer, in the triway, I think that might be the ultimate hinderer. But any non-flipper XM18 is probably better than any flipper XM18, unless you just love the flippers. They do a really good job with those for sure. What are we at here? 9:56. You guys have 4 minutes. You can ask me knife stuff. You can ask me whatever. You can ask me whatever you want. Have you ever played with a skinny para 3 mod? What do you mean a skinny para 3 mod? Like they make like makers like modify the scales to make them thinner? No, but that's interesting. I don't necessarily think that the Spyderco para 3 is overly thick, but would I like it a little bit more if it was a little bit thinner? I might. That's interesting. My opinion on Spy 27, another steel that I am seeking out. If somebody has I might actually end up buying something in Spy 27 just to use it. I'm very interested in it. I have seen the composition. It seems very interesting. I think Spy 27 is also very similar to S35VN, if I'm understanding correctly. But yeah, I would like to experience it and really put some use to it before I start reviewing a bunch of knives in Spy 27. With a lot of these steels, the reason I'm so open to reviewing them is just I don't know how these individual companies heat treat them, but I have, good experience with a lot of steel, and I can assume things based on the geometry. And then, of course, the assumption is it's heat treated correctly. But with these newer steels, I have no experience. So I really need to use K390, Rex 45, S45VN, Spy 27 before I start reviewing knives in those steels, right? Let's see here. It's a bit better than S35VN. Okay, interesting. Very, very interesting. Do I like the snafu? Yes, I do. Reviews coming. It's going to be gush fest. There's a couple of little things, and Slice will probably tell you the same thing. There's a couple little things, but for the most part, yeah, it's excellent. I would definitely spend the money on that. Definitely, after handling it, it almost feels like a steal for what they want for it. Crazy. What do you think of the copper PM2 from Blade HQ? From what I understand, it's got different internals. It feels a little late. The Rex 45 is kind of cool, but at the end of the day, it's a $200+ PM2, and it's got copper, so it's heavy. The copper, I like copper, but I think the fat is going out. But I heard that it's got some different internals or a different, I don't know, something different on the inside. Those sold like immediately. If you love copper, right, go for it, because supposedly Rex 45 is the bee's knees. Eat your Wheaties. Yes. I don't know what that's in reference to, but yeah. Feels very similar in edge retention to S35, but it feels better on stones. Okay, so again, probably the idea with it is it's a steel that has similar performance, but is easier to machine, which makes sense from a business standpoint. I'm sure there are other things. I'm sure it's just the tip of the iceberg, but yeah. Let's see here. The Ace Grand hasn't left your pocket. I saw Slicey review that, and I was instantly, I was very interested in it immediately. I will have to. If anybody has an Ace Grand that they are interested, that they wouldn't mind lending me for review for about 4 weeks, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. If you haven't followed me, please follow me. Hit me up on Instagram. Email me at metalcomplex87@gmail.com. I would very much like to review that knife. Thank you, Slicey, for getting me interested in that. Kellen FK, okay, that would be great. Let's talk a little bit. Like I said, contact me on Instagram or email me. Here, let me get that thing. I'll just leave this out for anybody else that's curious. We'll let the live stream run just a little bit late so I can find the card that has my email address on it, so that if you guys have something you think I might be interested in reviewing, you guys can email me. I'm so sorry. It's in here somewhere. I have so many cards because everybody who sends me something gets their own card if they want me to plug their Instagram or their YouTube channel or whatever. So I write these out. And somewhere in here is the one that has my email address on it, but it is clearly buried. So hang with me. I'm obviously just trying to talk until I find it. God bless America. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here's my email address. metalcomplex87@gmail.com for the gentleman with the giant mouse, and anybody else who has anything they think might be interesting or that I might be interested in. And again, this next month or two, I really want to focus on new knives that have come out, very recently, like within the last 3 months or so, and knives ranging from the budget category up to high-end production, basically anywhere from about around $50 to about $500. Those are the knives that I really want to focus on. Those seem to be the ones you guys like to watch. They're good for the channel, and honestly, that's kind of my comfort zone anyway. So yeah, I hope you guys can see that. Here we go. Yeah, so if you want to, you can email me there. All right, guys and gals, it is 10:01. I think that's going to be it for tonight. I appreciate everybody for stopping in. That was really cool. I did not expect there to be 190-ish something. I don't know what we got up to people, that's about where I'm normally at. So that's cool. I guess this is it for tonight. I've got lots of really, really fun content planned for you guys this weekend. It's all pre-recorded. Yeah, hope you guys stay safe. If you're planning on shooting off fireworks, definitely stay safe. Hope you guys have an excellent rest of your Friday night. An excellent 4th of July weekend, and just an excellent time in general. Thanks for stopping in. Good night.